Hello everyone, today we will be covering support vector machine. In this particular video we will see what SVM means and talk out the math behind SVM. Say we are given multiple points and some of the points either belong to class -1 region or the others belong to the class +1 region over here. If you ask someone to draw a decision boundary that will easily separate the class -1 from class +1, one can draw a line over here, as in this case it is visible in black. Someone can draw a decision boundary over here as well. That will also work fine. Next time any point that comes into this region we will easily classify into -1 region, and next time any other point that falls below this decision boundary we will classify into +1 region. That will also fine, because based on the sample data, that is how much of information we can interpret. But what if we say this decision boundary is only influenced by these three particular points, x1, x2 and x3, because these are the points that act as leverage and manipulates the decision boundary, and these are the points as well we take into reference while we were drawing our decision boundary. So in this support vector machine, these 3 points are called the support vectors, because these are the points that determine where the decision boundary will be positioned. Easy. Once we got the support vectors, we need to derive the length that this support vector creates on the normal vector that is perpendicular to the decision boundary. Say over here, if we project point x2 onto w, it will be x2 transpose w. This is the length that we get. And similarly, if we project the point x3 onto w, here in this case it will be minus w, we will get another projection and the length will be L1. So what we want to do in SVM is that we want to maximize this length L1 plus L2 in such a way that every time we get a point we can easily classify and put that particular point into class 1 or class -1 region. Let's see how it works. Step 1 is to get a decision rule. Decision rule is pretty easy. We want to classify the points correctly. So in this case, if we have a unit vector, say w, and we have an unknown point u, the projection of u onto w, that is u dot w, dot vector is same as u transpose w, plus some bias should be correctly classified or greater than 0. But in this case what will happen is that, say there are few positive points over here, and few negative points. Then we can write w dot x plus b to be greater than equal to 1, w dot x minus plus b to be less than equal to -1. So this point is, if we say as 0, then the margin can be said as -1 and +1. So any projection of a point onto w to be correctly classified if gives a value greater than 1 or it gives a value less than 1, then we can say that it works fine. But now we are having two different sets of constraints. Let us make into one by introducing an element yi, which either takes +1 value or -1 value. Then our constraint will be y1 xiw plus b greater than equal to 1. So our decision rule is defined. with one equation. So if y1 is positive, so it will take plus 1 and then multiply it, and then we'll get a value. If y1 is negative, it will take minus 1, then multiply xi into w plus b, then it will give us a minus 1 value. Now let's create the objective function. Objective function says that if we draw a vector from origin to a plus point, data point x plus, and similarly we draw a vector to a x minus data point, then the distance between x plus and x minus is given by this particular vector x plus minus x minus. And if we project this point onto the vector w, where we already have said that w is the normal vector, we'll get the length of this particular street. So our target is to maximize this length of the street. So we can write maximize the projection of x plus minus x minus vector onto w, and in this case we will take norm w, that is w by mod of w. This can be further written as 1 minus b by w. Which is nothing but 2 by mod w. So we have the objective function reduced to 2 by mod w, where we have say maximize 2 by mod w, which can be further written as, for calculation convenience, minimize mod w, and for more easiness we write minimize 1 by 2 of. This helps when we take the differentiation or calculate the gradients and all. So our objective function is to minimize 1 by 2 mod w, and at the same time we have the constraint of yi multiplied with xi w plus b greater than equal to 1. So once we have the objective function and the constraint, we take the Lagrangian. Lagrangian says that L of wb, okay, these are the two w and b we have written over here because we will be differentiating with respect to w and with respect to b, is nothing but the objective function minus alpha times, this is the Lagrangian multiplier, we take the minus 1 to the left and write it over here. Now if we differentiate the Lagrangian with respect to w, we will get w star, which is what we are after, sigma yi alpha I xi. Xi are the data points that are given, alpha I is a scalar, and yi is either positive or negative that we have defined at step 1. And we, okay, here it will be w. And if we take the differentiation with respect to w, we will get beta star equal to sigma alpha I yi equal to 0. Now let's substitute this w star and b star into this objective function, and the objective function will turn out to be this sigma alpha I minus double summation of alpha I alpha j yi yj xi xj. Now xi xj is the critical point in SVM. Here we say that once we try to minimize or maximize the Lagrangian function, or our objective of increasing the width between the street, it is nothing but if we take the dot product of the data points that are given. So if there are multiple data points given to us, we try to take the dot product with respect to each other, this one with this one, then this one with this one, this one with this one. Every other points we try to take the dot product, and the dot product gives the information that if two features are similar, then the dot product will be maximum, and if two features are dissimilar, then the dot product will be minimum. So everything now boils down to taking the dot product between the data points that are given. So now once we have converted the Lagrangian into only alpha, because now we only have alpha, this turns out to be the dual of Lagrangian, where we try to maximize the dual. So once we substituted the W star, B star, what we had is only an equation with alphas over here. But prior to that, let's see what this information says, because this is the critical point in SVM. Once after substitution we have the value, we see that the maximization problem of Lagrangian is nothing but we have to minimize this particular value of sigma alpha I and the constant. This is nothing but sigma alpha I and the constant. You can write constant. Alpha is strictly 0 for a Lagrangian multiplier, and our constant is also greater than equal to 0, that we already defined. So these two multipliers should be equal to 0 in order for this half mod W square to be greater than 0 or to be maximized. So we have two conditions. One is when alpha is greater than 0. If we say that alpha value that we calculated is greater than 0, this will mean that the constraint is equal to 0. Then only the total value will be 0. When constraint is equal to 0, this means that the point lies on the decision boundary, because for on the decision boundary the constraint will be equal to 0. Any other point above decision boundary it will be greater than 0, or below it will be greater than 0, and it will be assigned a value plus or minus 1. But on the decision boundary it will be given a value of 0. So all the points on the decision boundary, or we say on the street, will be having alpha greater than 0. And the second point is nothing but all the points outside this decision boundary or this particular street will be having alpha less than 0 or alpha equal to 0. It cannot be less than 0. So once we have the values, now we see that our support vector only depends on the points that lies on the decision boundary, that is x1, x2 and x3. All other points will be having alpha equal to 0. So when we are calculating W star or B, every pointer is multiplied with alpha value. So all the point will not come into picture. Let's see an example side by side as well how it works. So here we have picked 3 points, that is 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 and minus 1, minus 2. So once we have those values, we have assigned the y values as minus 1 and 1. These are the classes that this point falls into. Then our Lagrangian can be written as, we just take this Lagrangian value from here, this value. Mod of W is nothing but W star W or W transpose W. Then alpha 1, that is summation, so we will have 3 alphas, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. Alpha 1 multiplied with value xi, xi is nothing but 1, 2, and W is nothing but W1, W2, and for yi here it is negative, so the value over here it is positive. Similarly we can write it down, and from there we can calculate W star. W star is nothing but minus sigma of yi, alpha I and xi. So this gives us W star. We now need to find alpha value so that we can fit into this equation and get the value of W star. Here also we see that W star is nothing but a linear combination of points in 2 dimensions. So W star will be also in R2. Now the dual becomes, which we want to maximize in order to get the values of alpha. This is the dual we have, and if I write it down into matrix format, first I need to calculate x dot xj, xi dot xj, which is nothing but x transpose x. Here it is the x value, this is the transpose value, this is the matrix that I get after multiplying x transpose x. Now I need to multiply alpha I and alpha j. I can write the matrix equation in this format. alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 multiplied with the x transpose x matrix, then alpha transpose. This will give us the value minus 1 by 2, and this is the value that I will get after multiplying all. And also we need to take care of the sign, that is if it belongs to class 1 minus 1 and if it belongs to class 2 plus 1. So we will have the value minus 1 by 2, 5 alpha 1 square plus 6 alpha 1 alpha 2 and so on. And at the same time we also know that minus alpha 1 plus alpha 3 minus alpha 2 equal to 0 from the constraint beta star b star sigma I yi equal to 0. This is the constraint we have. So from this constraint we can say that alpha 3 must be equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2. Over here it is written. Now we substitute the values of alpha 3. So our maximization are reduced to maximize alpha 1 and alpha 2 because alpha 3 is substituted. Now we take the differentiation of this Lagrangian with respect to alpha 1. We get alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2. Now we take the differentiation with respect to alpha 2. We will have alpha 2 is equal to 1 by 8. We substitute this value in alpha 1. We get alpha 1 0 and alpha 3 equal to 1 by 8. So our alphas are equal to 0, 1 by 8, 1 by 8. Now we substitute every other points. We will get W star is equal to 0, 0.5 and B equal to 0. So let's see in this graph how it works. We said that these 3 points are selected to be the support vectors, but we saw that alpha 1 was given as 0. Why? Because in order to maximize the length, only this particular point is sufficient in this case. If any other point would have been there, then it would have taken into consideration, but for now, in order to maximize the total length, these 2 points are sufficient. That's why it has given a value 0 to this particular point. Once we have this value, we know W is perpendicular of 0 minus 0.5. This is the direction of W, and beta is given, B is given to be equal to 0. B is the slope, means in other case if we have any other point over here, the line may shift to this particular form and B may be given a value of 0.06 or 1.3. B is just a slope or a bias that is given to this particular equation. So that's it from me. Thank you. In the next lecture we will see how we can code these particular values into Python and try to generate this particular graph using Python code SVM. Thank you.